why are you doing the SpongeBob musical? So RLT's Artistic Leadership Committee chose the show basically as soon as it became available. The reason that we chose the show is because it is just fun, and we really felt like it was the right thing to do right now. The other reason we chose it is because it actually feels oddly like it really aligns with our mission, and we're a mission-based theater company, which our mission is to strengthen our community through artistic engagement and collaboration, and this show is exactly going to do that. The show itself is about community. It's about how every member of a community has value and how you need each person or sea creature to bring what they do to the table in order to save the day. And as far as collaboration goes, you know, we knew that it was a large cast with a lot of opportunities to get really creative. And then as far as engagement goes, we knew that we were going to do some really fun things with basically taking the audience to Bikini Bottom from the minute they walk in the door and kind of inviting them to play with us. Bringing Bikini Bottom to life on stage has been one of the joys of my theatrical career. We are working with a really incredible team of technical theater artists. So we have Jared Sorensen working on our set. We have Jean Brown working on the costuming. We have a dramaturg, Luis Galvez, who has done a lot of research on Bikini Bottom, and believe it or not, there's a lot to learn. We've got Chad Sweet on props and lighting, and we've got just this incredible team of people thinking about how we can creatively turn our space into this undersea cartoon world. We started out right away talking about wanting it to be fully immersive. So we're doing a lot of really fun things with the show, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I also want to entice people to come. So we're doing things like, you know, the entire theater is the set. It's not just on stage. There's on-stage seating. There's going to be projections on all sides. There are things that may be falling from the ceiling. We're painting our tech booth. We thought it would be fun to make that look like a submarine so that our stage manager can get in on the fun. We're using a lot of references from the cartoon and the style of the cartoon, but not actually recreating it. Like, no one should expect to see actual representations from the cartoon because it's its own world. And that's been really fun too, that we kind of get to do our spin on something that people may have affinity for. We're working with a live band for the first time, and that has not been challenging in that they're just really awesome and very easy to work with and wildly talented, but it has brought a different set of challenges to the table in terms of, like, how do we balance the sound in the space? You know, that's 4 more bodies to move. You'll see, if you come see the show, that our space is very little. So, like, where are you putting them? We're putting them in the air. We had to, like, build up because we had nowhere else to put them. So that's been another fun challenge for the show. One of the things that we've talked a lot about is how do we pay homage to the characters while also not doing impressions of them, or, like, you know, how do you make it your own? And I think that overall I've been really thrilled with how the cast is doing that. Squidward I think will be a fan favorite. How we got, not we, I have nothing to do with this, how Jean got those legs to work, I will never know. And that's been a lot of fun. One of the other things I think is really special about this show is that Danny, who plays SpongeBob, is actually on stage with his father, Jim, who's playing Mr. Krabs. And that adds a whole level to this that's just really endearing and sweet. So I will be honest and say that when I heard there was a SpongeBob musical, I rolled my eyes. I was like, why? They'll make a musical out of anything. And I was such a snob, and I will eat my words, because it was the soundtrack that actually really reeled me in, no pun intended, to that. The music is created by just an array of really fantastic, very popular artists like John Legend and Aerosmith and Sara Bareilles and the Beach Boys. Each song is done by a different artist or band. And so it's got this really unique stylistic thing that shifts kind of like a current the whole time, and it's just so much fun. So the music was really the first thing that drew me in, and it was also the thing that I think my kids connected with, which is where I kind of fell in love with the show. So I started off thinking, SpongeBob, and then I listened to the music and was like, oh my gosh, what have they done? This is brilliant. It's so fun. It's so full of heart. And then I fell in love with the show. And it became like a staple in our household where every day my kids would come home and literally perform the SpongeBob musical in my house. And it's just so catchy and full of life. And so then to take this thing that I love so much and that is so all over the place, we needed to find a musical director who could take that challenge on. It's not one style. And Aaron Long, our musical director, is a musical mastermind. It's wild. I don't know how many instruments he plays. Our band of 4 people, I think they play 30 different instruments in the show. They're just constantly swapping out, and each song has such a different feel. So it's been really fun to see that come together. And then stylistically, different music means different movement styles. So we also needed to have a really incredibly talented choreographer. And we got that in having Nate Hodges come back to choreograph for us. He choreographed Seussical last year, and we were lucky enough to have him come back in and choreograph this. And I will tell you, as a director, I've never been so excited about a team. The 3 of us working on this show together has been such a collaborative and fun experience, and I think has really helped elevate the project as a whole. I could not have done this without them. I really wish they were here to talk about themselves, but I'll just tell you how wonderful they are. The themes and messages that I really hope the audience realizes are embedded in this script. I'm trying not to hit people over the head with it, but we're gonna hit them over the head with bubbles instead. The themes are about finding heroes in unlikely places, about the fact that, everybody brings something to the table. And there are also a lot of really deep and important moments that talk about what do people do when they are faced with a crisis? How does a community respond to something that's scary? And do they band together or do they take advantage of each other? And we see sort of both sides of that with Plankton and Mr. Krabs kind of trying to maybe take advantage of a situation where then you have like SpongeBob coming in to save the day, but he can't do it on his own. And so it's really just about, how we connect with one another and what we value in each other, and finding joy in the little things too. SpongeBob is an eternal optimist that just finds joy sort of everywhere, and it really is our goal to have our audience leave feeling that joy as well.